What's good, y'all? It's your girl Galaxy Queen Star. How y'all doing? Alright, so I wanted to continue going through the bar for bar battle between AVE and Real SIKH. Alright, we're gonna start with round two. AVE goes first. Nigga, why is you up here talking like I'm really concerned? I'm gripping the arm, you get it twisted. Watch this Indian burn. You better learn about me, mister. It's Slim Dog Millionaire. As soon as he dropping shit, he'll get the picture. So the crowd went wild off of that. I don't know if y'all know, but Slim Dog Millionaire was a movie, and I remember that scene. It was a scene in the movie. It was really disgusting. With this little boy, he was taking a dump. Okay, so they have like this cabin where he, scoots down, and right below the cabin, you see all feces. It's nothing but feces. It's disgusting. So it's another boy on the outside of the cabin and telling him to hurry up. The guy got to go to the bathroom, basically. And the boy is taking his slow time. So for some reason he had a picture. The boy that was taking a dump had a picture in his hand looking at something. And then all of a sudden people in the town started running. So he had to hurry up and take a dump and then get out. But the boy locked him in because the boy was mad at him for taking so long. So before everybody left, the boy that was on the outside of the cabin locked him in. So long story short, the boy who was taking a dump that was trying to get out the cabin, he literally drops into the shit. Okay, so that's where he get that bar from. It's Slim Dog Millionaire. As soon as he dropping shit, he'll get the picture, and he was holding up that picture. All right, next bar. Who's playing with you? Once you say it's an issue, it's on. My niggas letting all them clips to your dome. If I catch him slipping with chrome, his head clap. Now he ain't got a third of his rap. You gonna feel like Danny against you and Gnome. So I thought that was fire, man. Because remember the battle between Real SIKH and Danny Myers? For some reason, Danny was off that night. He was off, and he actually kept choking, and he stopped, and then he didn't even do his third round. He didn't even rap the third round, So that's where he get that bar from when he says, now he going, okay, I'm going to say it again. Who's playing with you? Once you say it's an issue, it's on. My niggas letting all these clips to your dome. If I catch him slipping with chrome, his head clap. Now he ain't got a third of his rap. You gonna feel like Danny against you and Gnome. Now when he say now he ain't got a third of his rap, that could go back, two ways. That's a double entendre because his rap, the turban rap that's on Real SIKH's head, or Danny's rap, his lyrics. Danny didn't have the rap, so that was fire. Next bar. What the fuck he on? My gunplay gonna be forever paid. And this government issue is for sick like Medicaid. I'll come where this lame stay, like right where the games play. He come out, met life and met death in the same day. Fire, man. Y'all know MetLife Stadium, which is located in Jersey, and that's where Real SIKH, the battle rapper, is from. He's from Jersey. So I thought that line was so fire. He come out, met life, and met death in the same day. Fire. And then in the beginning of the bar, I like when he say, and this government issue for sick, the gun is issued for sick. He really talking about Real SIKH, like Medicaid. So that was a nice bar because when you sick, you want to go to the doctor. If you have Medicaid, here in New York, you could go to the doctor. Next bar, Norfolk way. Real niggas here. I told y'all, nobody really fuck with that side. Like coleslaw. I thought that was so funny because Ab said it so gangster. I'm thinking he gonna say some real gangster shit. But he goes, the Norfolk way. He's from Norfolk, Virginia. Real niggas here. I told y'all, don't nobody really fuck with that side. Like coleslaw. You're looking at the crowd like coleslaw. Everybody started dying laughing, because that is so true. When I go to, say if I go to West Indian restaurant to buy some food or whatever, you know how they always put coleslaw as one of your sides? I never eat the coleslaw. I hate coleslaw. I don't eat nobody's coleslaw. All right, I just don't like it. Next bar. I cut off the beginning, ... What they don't know? My flow is 6 ceilings, duh. I mean, what the fuck is the debate? I'm #1 in my state. Not to mention y'all favorites niggas scared to step to my face. But it's straight smack. Tried y'all best, brought me an Indian that learned rap. Well, let me guess. Your Tribe Called Quest? I ain't impressed. I thought that was freaking fire, man, because remember the group A Tribe Called Quest? That used to be one of my favorite rap groups back in the day, but I was so young, but I just remember listening to their lyrics and listening to, they were just so different to me. They were like a hip-hop jazz kind of group, you know, and I remember Five Dog. Remember Five Dog was one. Remember that song, On Point Tip? All the time, Fight. You on point tip? All the time, Fight. So I remember Q-Tip and Five Dog. They were like the main, you know, lyricists in A Tribe Called Quest. Okay, and Five Dog, he's Trinidadian, West Indian, so he's basically, you know, from the West Indies. So and he's and AVE is battling Real SIKH, who is quote Indian, you know. So I thought that was fire. The bar was just straight fire. All right, so last bar in this round, he goes, Summer madness to gnomes, set the numbers to smoke legends. I show up the most, get it? So as far as resumes, nigga, mine 30, SIKH on Jersey, Jerome Bennett. So I'm gonna say that again. Summer madness to gnomes, get the numbers to smoke legends. I show up the most, get it? So as far as resumes, nigga, mine 30, SIKH on Jersey, Jerome Bennett. So I thought that was nice because Jerome Bennett is a former football player and his number was 36. So in the bar at the end when he says, so as far as resumes, nigga, mine 30, SIKH on Jersey. So 30, SIKH on Jersey. So that was a nice play on words. Okay, and I forgot to mention that former bar in the beginning of the line when he says what they don't know, my flow is 6 cylinders, duh. That was a nice play on words for cylinder. Okay, so he's basically saying my flow is sick, like it's ceilings. My flow is up top like the ceilings, duh, but the cylinder, you know, it was a nice play on words. And he said SIKH, he's battling Real SIKH. So AVE was really amazing. It was a fire round. He had a lot of haymaker bars, good performance, and very creative. Like his bars is just straight creative. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, let's see what Real SIKH got. Let's see. So y'all already know, the first round I gave to AVE. So now we're going to Real SIKH round 2. Who's scrapping with me? We could fight on stage. I get it shaking when I'm angry like white boy rage. Across and make him lean dizzy. Hooker make him 360. Couple fucking uppercuts look like he agreeing with me. You know, so, you know, that was nice. You know, it's kind of different. You know, he like, fuck uppercuts agreeing with me. And, you know, when you fighting somebody and you hitting them in their face, of course they bopping like that. So he was even doing that when he was saying the bar. So I thought that was all right. Next bar. He ain't really want a problem with me. I rock him to sleep even if he rock with Rock and his team. I will streets, music, arts, culture, knowledge this geek. And slap ass first, cause smack start with the streets. So, you know, honestly, y'all, before I continue, I was kind of disappointed in Real SIKH. You know, like I feel like all his other battles, the battle he had with Danny Myers, the battle he had with Arsenal, the battle he had with Mike P. All 3 of those battles I wish was on a main stage with a crowd because those battles were fire on his side, okay? Even Mike P was fire, Arsenal was fire, okay? But he was so good that I know if he was on a stage with the crowd, they would have been roaring, they would have been going crazy over his bars. But now it's like, I feel like he took a step back, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like most of his bars were kind of amateur. It was like premature kind of bars. It was like, I don't know. I just don't understand why his bars wasn't hitting as hard as his other bars were in his former battles. You know what I mean? So I was kind of upset. As I'm watching the battle, I'm really waiting to hear something like fire. And the whole time I really wasn't getting what I wanted, you know? All right, next bar. You tried to slap chest. I clap and let the beat knock. Pull a Tommy gun, hope he turn around and be shot. His heart pumping till I let a machine pop. Then I stop banging the drum. That's when his beats drop. So you know how SIKH be going like this when he rap. You know, that's his little signature move, and I think that is kind of fire. I ain't gonna lie, and it seemed like the crowd likes it. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna say the bar again. You try to slap chest, and then he starts basically slapping on his chest and making a beat, which was kind of fire. I clap and let a beat knock, pull a Tommy gun, hope he turn around and be shot, his heart pumping, till I let a machine pop, then I stop banging the drum, that's when his beat dropped. So, you know, they was messing with that. It's like, oh, okay. But like I said, it still sounds kind of amateur to me. Like, it sounds like he just started battling or something. And I know he's been, you know, battling for a minute. All right, next bar. All the dudes you cool with threw in a new coffin. Shooting the tool, losing your crew, they gonna move on it. And then he said, you'll be using too many funeral suits often. Murder all over the place. Like Mook talking. You lost it. So, you know how Real Sick is. He likes to flow. It sounds kind of mixtapey, you know, when he be rhyming and rapping his bars sometimes, because he go into this flow of his own. And it's different. You know, that's why I like Real Sick, because he's very different from a lot of other battle rappers. So I'm going to say the bar again. All the dudes you cool with threw in a new coffin, shooting the tool, losing your crew. They gonna move on it. You'll be using too many funeral suits often. Murder all over the place, like Mook talking. You lost it. So when he say murder all over the place, like Mook talking, you know, murder Mook. So I just thought it was basic. I just thought it was okay. And I like Real Sick. You know what I'm saying? I still think he's a fire battle rapper. I still want to see him again. But I'm not going to give anybody any sympathy rounds anymore. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to be strictly honest. And, you know, I'm not going to be disrespectful about it. But I got to be honest. You know, this was very light. Very light to me. All right? So we only got 2 more bars left. We could have did this at traffic. Hold up, Av. Hot wheel track. I'm about to roll up, Av. Hancock when I landed. Broke up, Av. Like when the towers fell. I smoke up, Av. It's like a slut walk Amber Rose done had. That's a bald head that'll put some holes on Av. Ocean Drive. I'm about to coast on Av. Like a Macy's Day parade. Float on Av. It's just okay. Now the part where he says it's like a slut walk Amber Rose done had, that's a bald head that'll put some holes on Av. Amber Rose, you know, she's a bald head woman. She's the one that used to go out with Kanye West, and you know, she owns the fact that she was a hoe, you know, and she had a slut walk or whatever. Her and Black China did, and she's a hoe. So when he say slut walk Emma Rose done had, that's a bald head that'll put some holes on Av. That was, you know, that was a nice bar. But it's still amateur to me. You know what I'm saying? And last bar. You so off track, I see how quick you be lying, arguing with Verb. You was twitching and crying, trying to battle, but it's different with my shit. I let you choose what verb you want, living or dying. It's like, okay, now we know verb in real terms in English means action word. Okay, so when you living is an action word, dying is an action word, but of course he meant in the battle. But he was the one that died in this battle. I'm sorry. Okay, I have to be real with y'all. You know, this was just a decent round. Bars were not hitting hard enough for me. They were really too light. And one thing I noticed about Real Sick, he needs to slow his pace down. You see how I noticed with Av, even though he rap fast, when he say something fire and the crowd be like, yo, and they roaring, at least he go back to the bar and say the bar all over again so we could hear and know exactly what he said. Now with Real Sick, it seemed like he was rushing through his material. He was rushing. And then his bars just wasn't hitting hard enough for me. And I'm just so appalled. Like, I'm so surprised. And I'm actually upset at the same time. Because it's like I was waiting for this battle. I was so excited. And I really wanted to see a good Real Sick. He was so good in all his previous battles. I just knew he was going to be a challenge, at least a challenge for Av. You know, so I'm really, really disappointed, but I don't want to discourage him, okay? I want Real Sick to continue. I'm sure, he'll get better and better, okay? I still want to see Real Sick again, all right? So, but I must admit, y'all, I ain't even going to do a third round. I'm just letting y'all know I gave AVE all 3 rounds. It wasn't a body, but it was a gentleman's 30. I just got to be real with y'all. All right, I'll come back with my predictions. We know Summer Madness is coming up the end of the month. There's a lot that's going to be taking place, so y'all will see me again. All right, y'all. Later.